I am Ra. I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. We communicate now. Question 57.1. Questioner, first, could you give me an indication of the instrument's condition, please? Answer, I am Ra. This instrument is under a most severe psychic attack. This instrument is bearing up well due to replenished vital energies and a distortion towards a sense of proportion which your peoples call a sense of humor. This attack is potentially disruptive to this contact for a brief period of your space-time. Question 57.2. Questioner, is there anything in particular that we can do in addition to what we are doing to alleviate this attack? Answer, I am Ra. There is nothing you can do to alleviate the attack. The understanding of its mechanism might be of aid. Question 57.3. Questioner, could you tell us its mechanism? Answer, I am Ra. The Orion group cannot interfere directly but only through pre-existing distortions of mind, body, spirit complexes. Thus in this case, this entity reached for an heavy object with one hand and this miscalculated action caused a deformation or distortion of the skeletal muscular structure of one of this instrument's appendages. Your aid may be helpful in supporting this instrument in the proper care of this distortion, which is equivalent to what you call your post-operative state when bones are not firmly knit. This instrument needs to be aware of care necessary to avoid such miscalculated actions, and your support in this state of awareness is noted and encouraged. Question 57.4. Questioner, is there anything that we can specifically do to alleviate this problem that is already existing? Answer, I am Ra. This information is harmless, thus we share it though it is transient, lacking the principle but only offering a specific transient effect. The wrist area should be wrapped as in a sprained configuration, as you call this distortion, and what you call a sling may be used on this distorted right side of the body complex for one diurnal period. At that time symptoms, as you call these distortions, shall be reviewed and such repeated until the distortion is alleviated. The healing work to which each is apprentice may be used as desired. It is to be noted that a crystal is available. Question 57.5. Questioner, which crystal is that? Answer, I am Ra. The flawed but sufficient crystal which rests upon the digit of this instrument's right hand. Question 57.6. Questioner, would you tell me how to use that crystal for this purpose? Answer, I am Ra. This is a large question. You first, as a mind, body, spirit complex, balance and polarize the self, connecting the inner light with the upward spiraling inpourings of the universal light. You have done exercises to regularize the processes involved. Look to them for the preparation of the crystallized being. Take then the crystal and feel your polarized and potentiated balanced energy channeled in green ray healing through your being, going into and activating the crystalline regularity of frozen light which is the crystal. The crystal will resound with the charged light of incarnative love, and light energy will begin to radiate in specified fashion, beaming, in required light vibrations, healing energy, focused and intensified towards the magnetic field of the mind, body, spirit complex which is to be healed. This entity requesting such healing will then open the armor of the overall violet red ray protective vibratory shield. Thus the inner vibratory fields, from center to center in mind, body and spirit, may be interrupted and adjusted momentarily, thus offering the one to be healed the opportunity to choose a less distorted inner complex of energy fields and vibratory relationships. Question 57.7. Questioner, should the crystal be held in the right hand of the healer? Answer, I am Ra. This is incorrect. There are two recommended configurations. The first, the chain about the neck to place the crystal in the physical position of the green ray energy center. Second, the chain hung from the right hand, outstretched, wound about the hand in such a way that the crystal may be swung so as to effect sensitive adjustments. We offer this information realizing that much practice is needed to efficiently use these energies of self. However, each has the capability of doing so, and this information is not information which, if followed accurately, can be deleterious. Question 57.8. Questioner, would an unflawed crystal be considerably more effective than the flawed one that we have now? Answer: I am Ra. Without attempting to deem the priorities you may choose, we may note that the regularized or crystallized entity in its configuration is as critical as the perfection of the crystal used. Question 57.9. Questioner: does the physical size of the crystal have any relationship to the effectiveness in the healing? Answer: I am Ra. In some applications concerning planetary healing, this is a consideration. In working with an individual mind, body, spirit complex, the only requirement is that the crystal be in harmony with the crystallized being. There is perhaps a lower limit to the size of what you may call a facetted crystal, for light coming through this crystal needs to be spread the complete width of the spectrum of the one to be healed. It may further be noted that water is a type of crystal which is efficacious also, although not as easy to hang from a chain in your density. Question 57.10. Questioner: placing the end of this pencil on my navel, would the point of it then represent the place where the crystal should hang for proper green ray? Is this position correct? Answer: I am Ra. We attempt your measurements. From 2 to 5.4 centimeters towards your heart is optimal. Question 57.11. Questioner: using this piece of wood then, I would determine, from my navel, the position to be at the top of the piece of wood. Is this correct? Answer: I am Ra. This is correct. Question 57.12. Questioner: how does the healing that you just told us about relate to the healing done in the king's chamber in the Giza pyramid? Answer: I am Ra. There are two advantages to doing this working in such a configuration of shapes and dimensions. Firstly, the disruption or interruption of the violet-red armoring or protective shell is automatic. In the second place, the light is configured by the very placement of this position in the 7 distinctive color or energy vibratory rates, thus allowing the energy through the crystallized being, focused with the crystal, to manipulate with great ease the undisturbed and, shall we say, carefully delineated palette of energies or colors, both in space-time and in time-space. Thus the unarmored being may be adjusted rapidly. This is desirable in some cases, especially when the armoring is the largest moiety of the possibility of continued function of body complex activity in this density. The trauma of the interruption of this armoring vibration is then seen to be lessened. We take this opportunity to pursue our honor duty, as some of those creating the pyramid shape, to note that it is in no way necessary to use this shape in order to achieve healings, for seniority of vibration has caused the vibratory complexes of mind-body-spirit complexes to be healed to be less vulnerable to the trauma of the interrupted armoring. Furthermore, as we have said, the powerful effect of the pyramid, with its mandatory disruption of the armoring, if used without the crystallized being, used with the wrong intention, or in the wrong configuration, can result in further distortions of entities which are perhaps the equal of some of your chemicals which cause disruptions in the energy fields in like manner. Question 57.13. Questioner: is there currently any use for the pyramid shape at all that is beneficial? Answer: I am Ra. This is in the affirmative if carefully used. The pyramid may be used for the improvement of the meditative state as long as the shape is such that the entity is in Queen's chamber position or entities are in balanced configuration about this central point. The small pyramid shape placed beneath a portion of the body complex may energize this body complex. This should be done for brief periods only, not to exceed 30 of your minutes. The use of the pyramid to balance planetary energies still functions to a slight extent, but due to Earth changes, the pyramids are no longer aligned properly for this work. Question 57.14. Questioner: what is the aid or the mechanism of the aid received for meditation by an entity who will be positioned in the so-called Queen's chamber position? Answer: I am Ra. Consider the polarity of mind, body, spirit complexes. The inner light as that which is your heart of being. Its strength equals your strength of will to seek the light. The position or balanced position of a group intensifies the amount of this will, the amount of awareness of the inner light necessary to attract the in-streaming light upward spiraling from the south magnetic pole of being. Thus this is the place of the initiate, for many extraneous items or distortions will leave the entity as it intensifies its seeking, so that it may become one with this centralized and purified incoming light.